All right, so next up, we're going to start talking about chemical reactions. So remember from previously that all matter is made of atoms, which can combine into molecules and compounds. And all of these are generally accepted as being chemicals, which means that all matter is made out of chemicals. So anytime you hear, oh, that's got chemicals in it, that's bad, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Everything is chemicals. You're a chemical. Your table's a chemical. Pretty much everything we have is a chemical. And that doesn't make it good or bad. Just you need more detail than that. And of course, things react with each other, So they can react with one another, and those are chemical reactions, Just matter interacting with themselves is oftentimes chemical reactions. And so what that means for us in our daily lives is that chemical reactions occur all the time. And there's a lot more similarity in between different chemical reactions that maybe you don't associate with themselves. So for example, maybe you drove your car today. So when your car goes, it uses gas. So a car burns gas. And this is a combustion reaction. So what we take is some kind of hydrocarbon. In this case, we'll just use octane, but there are other hydrocarbons. It's just carbon and hydrogen in different amounts. This is our fuel. In this case, this is octane. It's called octane because there's 8 carbons. And that combines with oxygen from the air. So this is why your car needs to suck in air to work. And then it reacts these two, adds a little bit of spark, and then it forms carbon dioxide and some water and a whole bunch of energy, And the energy is what's used to drive your car. Obviously, this right here is carbon dioxide, which is a major driver of climate change, which is definitely a real thing. And then this is some water as well. So that's just one example of a chemical reaction that occurs every day. But let's take a look at maybe something that you don't think is very similar, but is actually very similar. So this is what's going on in your car. What's going on in your cells is actually very similar, So we as humans, we eat food, and then we grab that energy from the food to do our, daily tasks and whatnot. So most of that comes from glucose, which is C6H12O6. But you can use other sources. They still undergo essentially the same reaction. That combines with oxygen gas from the air, This is why we need to breathe oxygen. And then we turn that into six molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water, and then a whole bunch of energy, which we then use to power our daily activities. So you can see both in your car and in your body, you're both doing combustion reactions. You're taking carbon sources, combining them with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. And so chemical reactions are everywhere, and they're important to our everyday life. Remember that a chemical reaction, there has to be a change in the chemical formula / structure, So just a phase change is not a chemical change. Something going from a liquid to a solid is not a chemical change. That's a physical change. There has to be a change in the molecular formula or the structure of our compounds.